Greetings. The International College of Behavioral Counseling welcomes you to Life's Defining Axioms. Each axiom contains essential wisdom for living. And today's axiom is simply titled, Fail Your Way to Success. Hey, there's something wrong there. That can't be right. Yes, it is right. Fail your way to success. It was Thomas Edison who was confronted by a reporter one day after he had discovered tungsten that glowed in a vacuum, and he created the incandescent lamp. He invented that. It's called the incandescent light bulb. And the reporter says, how did you feel when you had so many failures? And Thomas Edison said, I haven't failed. I have just discovered 10,000 ways it won't work. That's a good attitude. I like it. Giving up is the sure path to failure, says Shanko. Failure is the one that you learn nothing from. So if you have failure, you can learn something from that. But true failure is when you learn nothing from your failure. It sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? But it's true. Fear of failure preempts your progress. If you don't try, you won't fail. It's like the person said, I figured out a way not to fail my exams. I just play hooky that day. I don't write the exam. Well, yes, you're true. You won't fail if you don't write. I won't try to fix this thing because it might break while I'm trying to fix it. Well, that's true. I won't try this because I may not succeed. Well, that's also true. You will not fail if you don't try, but then you'll never succeed as well. Failure is a verb, not a noun. I may have failed, but I am not a failure. The only way to learn how to ride a horse or ride a bike or skate is to get up every time you fall down. Now, falling down is a failure, but I tell you what, you get up every time and pretty soon you'll succeed in not falling down. Life is a trial whereby repeated failures result in success. Sometimes it takes 20 years to become an overnight success. 20 years of failure to become an overnight success. Think about that. Failure and pain is a vital part of life that leads us to success. So go ahead and fail. Try it. I guarantee you'll like it. Socrates made this statement. Socrates said, how dangerous can a false reasoning prove? The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinion. You can convince a man against his will, but of the same opinion still, that's what he'll be. Your own opinion inhibits you. Success is not final, said Winston Churchill. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And then Gordon Hinckley made this statement. I'm going to read it. Don't nag yourself with thoughts of failure. Do not set goals beyond your capacity to achieve. Simply do what you can in the best way you can and know that the Lord will accept your effort. That's a pretty good statement. So what we need to do is change our default thinking. Now, what in the world is default thinking? Well, when I purchased this computer, I set the computer to a default to always use Times New Roman as my font. Every script you see coming up on the screen here is Times New Roman. And unless I change it, it'll go back to the default. Well, in the same way, if your default emotion is anger or vindictiveness or self-pity or whatever your default emotion is, whatever your thought default is, I'm being persecuted, they're making fun of me. Whatever your default is the default that you're going to go to when the situation gets stressed. Don't let your mind trick you into believing something that's really not there. Change your default thinking. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 7 says this, for as a man thinketh in himself, so is he. Another translation puts it this way, for as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That word heart is cardia. The word cardiac, cardiac arrest, cardiogram, coronary, they all come from this word cardia. And the mind and the heart work in unison together. We think not only with our mind, but with our heart as well. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so he becomes. Change your default thinking. That's exactly what Paul the Apostle said in Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. He said, I urge you, brothers, I beg you, brothers, do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be not conformed. Don't pattern yourself. The word is schema. Don't pattern yourself after the world, schematic yourself after the world. Follow the world's blueprint. Don't do that. But be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, this word transformed is metamorpho, and it really means metamorphosis. You've been crawling on your stomach like a caterpillar, pushing your way through the dregs of life and the debris of disappointment and failure. It's about time you spun a cocoon and emerged a beautiful butterfly to fly high above your circumstances and high above your problems. And note what he says, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed. How? By the renewing of your thinker and your feeler. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So feel what God wants to feel. Now, that is good psychology, and it's good theology, and it is essential wisdom for living. I'm Wilf Kent. Visit our website, icbc.org. Keep well and farewell until next time.